Justin Bieber buys a Bored Ape NFT for $1.29 million, which is pretty nuts. So basically, he paid nearly 300% more than his valued market price, and the singer posted a photo of the new BAYC number 3001, which features a cartoon ape in a black t shirt with tears in his eyes, to his Instagram on Monday, along with lyrics from his 2021 hit song Lonely. What if you had it all but nobody to call? Blah blah blah. Okay, whatever. Bieber 27 purchased the NFT for 500 Ethereum cryptocurrency, which is the equivalent to $1.29 million, according to Bitcoin.com. And the estimated value of the NFT was $208,237 as of January 29th, 2022, meaning the star bought the non fungible token for nearly 300% above its valued price. Naturally, people took to Twitter to poke fun at Bieber for dishing out so much money for the piece. Justin Bieber really paid 5 times the Bored Ape floor price for an ape with no rare traits. He just got finessed, one person tweeted. Next time you think you're down bad, just remember that at Justin Bieber just bought a floor ape for 500 ETH, another person added. And here's the thing, right? So this thing had, like, when he posted, like, over a million likes. A lot of people don't really understand NFTs, and here's the thing, right? The way to think of like an NFT is basically like, let's say that you've ever played a game, like a video game, right? And in that video game, if it's like an MMO, right, you end up defeating monsters or completing quests to get money to go buy certain items or gear to upgrade your character, right? Well, that's the way that you could kind of like view NFTs. Where like, okay, technically speaking, there's really only like a worth to any of these things as long as someone wants to pay for it, right? So, for example, right, if you have like a water bottle just sitting in the middle of nowhere, well, I mean, technically that water bottle is not really worth anything, right? But if you have two people involved, right? One person has the water bottle and the other person ends up wanting to buy that water bottle because they're thirsty. Well, guess what? Now there's like a demand and a supply situation. So now people are like, okay, well, how much are you going to be willing to like sell me that water bottle for? Because I really want that water. Like it comes down to just demand and supply, right? If there's enough demand with very limited supply, no matter what it is, the worth of it is going to get pretty high. Now, Justin Bieber is in a very specific scenario that when it comes down to money specifically, he has like no ceiling as to whatever he spends his money on, right? And what we mean by that is that he could easily spend $20 million every single year and probably not really do anything to his bank account, right? Like, that's the reality of his situation. And basically, it's like the equivalent of someone maybe making like $100,000 a year, spending like a quarter every single year, right? Like, it's the ratio of how much money he probably has versus how much he's actually like overspending on this thing. Like it doesn't even matter. Like he's at the like level of like money, right? That it literally does not matter what he does with the money. He can literally just basically burn millions of dollars every single day and not run out of money. Especially since he's probably getting royalties still. He has a very large amount of like recurring revenue probably. Not to mention his clothing, not to mention the actual song sales, the touring, all that sort of stuff, right? Like, not to mention his investments as well, right? No one actually really talks about it, but perhaps he has maybe, I don't know, $500 million in investments or more, right? So let's continue. So others noted that Bieber must have really wanted the NFT to pay so much over asking, with the third person tweeting, he's not looking for the flip, he just likes the apes. Yes, we all know that Justin Bieber could have bought a more expensive, rarer ape, but he doesn't give an S. This is just a flex to get people talking about it. A statement piece. Welcome, a fourth person argued. And Bieber is no stranger to the NFT world and has a growing collection of pieces. And the Yummy Singer, who has an estimated net worth of $285 million, which I think is pretty low. I think he probably has more than $500 million to his name, has reportedly purchased 619 NFTs from 49 different collections. But he isn't the only star to hop on the Bored Ape Yacht Club bandwagon. Paris Hilton, Jimmy Fallon, Serena Williams, Travis Barker, Eminem, Stephen Curry, and Gunna have all purchased NFTs, not NTFs, NFTs. And again, this is the thing to really understand, right? Like, this has basically gotten to the point where, like, celebrities are pretty much just flaunting their wealth. And not just flaunting their wealth, it gets into a really weird situation where you have celebrities, right, with endless amounts of money, right, available to them, either by their own money or someone else's money, right, with a massive, massive following, right? So here's the thing, right? Let's just take Justin Bieber as an example, right? So Justin Bieber has over 219 million followers just on his Instagram, right? Well, guess what, right? There's a limited amount of Bored Apes, right, available for purchase, right? Because some people don't want to sell it, some people want to keep it forever, and some people want to make like a massive flip, right? Like a lot of the NFT players that hold a lot of NFTs in these collections tend to hold on to them for a very long time unless they get offered an absurd amount of money. And this is where you get like CryptoPunks worth so much, Bored Apes worth so much. I think probably Bored Apes are probably going to beat CryptoPunks just because there's a lot more celebrities behind Bored Apes. But you got to think about it. Someone with a massive amount of followers, right? Where they are basically talking about them buying and basically investing or betting into like a NFT, something that other people could buy that has a very limited supply. I believe like the Bored Apes are like I think only maybe like 10,000 different NFTs or something like that, like 10,000 different images. So you got over 219 million people. A portion of that, even 1% were to try to buy an NFT and they can't because it's a very limited supply. So, like, the demand for some of these NFTs, like these Bored Apes, could be so massive in conjunction with a very limited supply, meaning that even though he spent like over 300% on this specific NFT, it would not be surprising that he could end up having a follower or someone who's a fan of his or someone who just like be like, you know what, I really want that NFT too. But the only way to get it is to offer Justin Bieber way more than what he spent on it. So it gets into this like really weird, kind of like an I wouldn't really say Ponzi scheme, but pretty close to it. Probably more closer to like an MLM, where it's like as long as there's people wanting to buy these things and there's a limited supply, the price is pretty much always going to go up, right? Now, there's probably going to be someone who ends up buying, and then the demand for it drops, and then they end up just basically losing everything that they have, right? That can happen. People have fallen for rug pulls quite often. Now, could that be the same thing with Bored Apes? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It's just the thing you gotta really be careful is like anytime these celebrities really try to like shove things down people's throats, be a little bit wary of it, right? Because in the grand scheme of things, monetary wise, this has no impact on their life. But if you end up putting like your life savings into something like this and it crashes, you're screwed. Like you're financially screwed. Whereas to them, they could literally burn this amount of money every single day and not care about it.